Welcome back to the channel, here with the Walking Cruiser, and today I'm on Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas, fresh from its $100 million refurbishment. So in this video, I'll give you a full ship tour, show you what's new, review the entertainment, the food, some specialty restaurants too, a stateroom tour, cover the ship spaces and activities, so it's going to be pretty full on. And at the end, I'll share with you my final thoughts on Allure of the Seas and give an overall review so you can decide if it's right for you. Embarkation day, and we embarked in Civitavecchia on a 7-night Western Mediterranean itinerary. Here is the Royal Promenade on Deck 5, a lovely, airy space when it's not too busy, and there was a bandstand with a band playing live music. We were excited to be on this large ship. Allure of the Seas was the second Oasis-class ship and can hold over 6,000 passengers. Most people embark in Barcelona, so not everyone is on the same itinerary though. So let's look around. Walking forward on the starboard side, there's Sorrento's Pizza. Serving pizza throughout the day and evening. It's included in your cruise fare, so makes a great snack. There's a drink station here too. I don't think it's the best pizza at sea, having tried it a few times, but let me know in the comments what you think. Oh, and here's a tip. The juice bar that you'd expect to find in the spa where it used to be before the refurb, it's actually here at Sorrento's. Across from Sorrento's on the port side is the Bow and Stern pub. There's a larger-than-life compass globe decoration which surprised us later. No spoilers. This is an English-style pub, a traditional English pub theme with the decor, all dark woods. There's a stand for live music performers, and they also host other events here during the day. But in the evening, it's a popular spot with a good atmosphere. The drinks menu, true to English theme, is gin-based. And of course, a selection of beers from around the world, with 2 English ales. Okay, still on the Royal Promenade on Deck 5, we come to a new addition as part of the refurb, the Pesky Parrot. It's a tropical, tiki-themed cocktail bar. Here is Brad the mechanical parrot. He must be the cousin of Brian the parrot on Utopia. The Pesky Parrot bar is a new concept on Royal Caribbean. It launched on Utopia of the Seas, so Allure of the Seas is only the second ship to have it. Check out my full ship tour of Utopia of the Seas on my channel if you're interested in the latest Oasis-class ship. Some tiki-style decoration, and a nice escape to the tropics no matter where you were sailing. At the Pesky Parrot, they have this thing where you can mark your voyage by leaving a dollar bill or other note in the bar pinned to the ceiling. So here is the Walking Cruiser's dollar bill. And before you go reporting me to the authorities, defacing money for this purpose is not a criminal offense. I checked. Across from the Pesky Parrot is guest services. And then the Cafe Promenade. The Cafe Promenade is open all hours and has snacks and light bites, which are included in your cruise fare. It's also a place for hot drinks, like tea or coffee, or specialty coffees, which are not included unless you have a drinks package or pay-as-you-go. The next cruise center is where you can take advantage of onboard special offers. You don't need to pick the exact sailing, but if you pay a deposit, you can secure the special offer and select your sailing later. All Oasis-class ships have a model classic car in the Royal Promenade. Don't ask me the model, but put it in the comments if you know it. Next is Boleros' Latin-themed bar. Here is where you'll find dance lessons, live Latin music, and a great cocktail bar featuring mojitos and caipirinhas. That is one thing Royal Caribbean does well, is theming the bar menus unique to each bar. Boleros has a very well-used dance floor for sure. Exiting Boleros, here on the Royal Promenade is where you'll find the onboard Starbucks. Both the coffees and snacks here are not included in your cruise fare, and not in any drinks package if you have one either. And across from Boleros is On Air. This is a dedicated karaoke bar, and I think it's a great concept to have a dedicated space for this. There were themed karaoke sessions in the schedule, or in the day this was a space for quizzes and game shows as well. Given how popular karaoke is around the world, I'm not surprised it always draws a good crowd. At the aft end of the Royal Promenade now is the Rising Tide Bar. This is a neat concept, a bar that travels vertically while you sit and enjoy your drink. There it is up on deck 8, where you can also get off and on, so either here on deck 5 or up on deck 8. Now for the main dining room at the back of the ship. Entering from deck 3, this is the American Icon Grille, or the main dining room for anytime dining. On your cruise, you can have an assigned dining time or flexible dining. This is where you'll be if you're on anytime, down here on deck 3. There's some interesting American-themed artwork dotted around. Dinner in the main dining room is included in your cruise fare. So is breakfast and also lunch on sea days. The main dining room spans 3 decks, decks 3, 4, and 5. It's an incredibly large space with tables for groups or couples, and I'm always impressed by the efficiency of the service. The refurbishment on Allure added over 100 cabins to the ship, so increased its passenger capacity around 4%. On deck 4 now, you can appreciate the size of the main dining room, but it looks elegant. Some tables have sea views, and I have to say I've had a good experience on the nights we did dine here. The main dining rooms have different names, but apart from the wall decorations, they are the same offering. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I always have a good experience with Royal Caribbean main restaurant dining. Here is a sample menu from Caribbean Night, and the menu theme changed each night. I like that they keep some favorites, the Royal classics, across all ships. Like the French onion soup, a favorite of mine. Maybe not a full 5 stars this time, but pretty close. However, the night we had the surf and turf, this was an excellent offering for main dining with the roast beef cooked to your preference and big juicy shrimp. This is the Caribbean-style roast chicken from Caribbean Night with rice and beans and plantain. Really tasty. And the classic cheese plate for after the meal. Always available, and enjoyed that option instead of dessert. But you can order both if you want. Next to the main dining room on deck 4, on the port side, is Izumi Sushi and Hibachi. It's a specialty restaurant, so not included in your cruise fare, and it's Japanese cuisine, open for dinner and lunch on sea days. To my right is the teppanyaki space, where the chef is performing while cooking. It's entertaining as well as delicious, so I do recommend you try it at least once. And to my left is the sushi restaurant. I love the Japanese-inspired design in here, and the sea views. But the reason to come here is the sushi. It is incredible. The menu is inventive, and the chefs are clearly very skilled. There is an Izumi on most Royal Caribbean ships, and after trying it finally, I will definitely be back. Five stars for the sashimi, tender and full of flavor, the lobster roll, and the salmon lover's roll, all excellent. Then opposite Izumi on the starboard side is where you'll find Chef's Table. Chef's Table is a more intimate specialty dining experience. It is limited to 14 people and is a 6-course dinner around this table with an elevated menu prepared by a senior chef. Also hosted by a sommelier, and each course comes with a wine pairing. Here's the menu with the dishes and paired wines. The scallop carpaccio was so thinly sliced, really delicate. I give it a 4 out of 5. Then the smoked tomato soup. I expected better, to be honest. We actually dined at Chef's Table on Odyssey of the Seas, and this score is more of a comparison. The lobster salad was very fresh and tasted good, but the vegetable accompaniments were a bit lackluster. The branzino or sea bass nicely prepared, but we see the same vegetable spirals as with the lobster. Then the filet mignon, cooked to request, although the chef recommended medium rare. Really excellent steak, although the same lackluster vegetable spirals for the third time. The final dessert course is called The World. A chocolate globe with gelato and peanut butter and chocolate filling, revealed by pouring hot caramel sauce over the top. And it truly is delicious, but I have docked 1 star for the presentation as the sauce was too cool and didn't create the effect as we'd seen in our last Chef's Table. Although the service was good, there were some gaps in between courses, and it dragged on a bit. And compared to our experience on Odyssey, the food wasn't up to the same standard. But overall the food still was excellent, the wines were excellent, and I enjoyed hearing about everything that went into this meal. So I recommend you give it a try. Also, leave 3 hours for sure. Make sure you don't double book a show or anything. We're now in Entertainment Place, which is a concentration of venues on Deck 4 at the front of the ship. There is Blaze, which is a nightclub, and mostly isn't open other than after 11 or 12 at night. There's a dance floor, a bar, lots of seating as well, and either has a DJ or sometimes a silent disco. Then we have Studio B, which is the ice rink on board. On sea days, this is open up for guests to try a bit of ice skating. Skates and safety gear is provided, and there is no additional charge. Then there is the production show. For us it was called Blades, and was on a few times during the cruise. It helps to book in advance. I thoroughly enjoyed this production, and the skaters are very talented. Special mention to this performer. I think this is the first time I've seen this hula hooping act on ice. Fantastic. Great energy through the whole show. Also here an entertainment place is Comedy Live. The resident comedian does shows here. Heading backward on Deck 4 to the casino, but first Park West, which has an art gallery here. All of the works here are for sale, and they host art auctions. If you are interested in any of the works, you can express interest to the staff, and they will include it in the auction. Mostly prints and reproductions of originals, and some sports memorabilia too. If you do happen to buy something, Park West will arrange delivery to your home after the cruise. No need to worry about how you'd pack it. Now we've come to the Casino Royale for all your gambling entertainment needs. If you are going to do some gambling on a cruise, it can be part of your entertainment budget, and I personally enjoy a bit of gambling, but do set yourself a budget and stick to it to keep it fun. So this casino is really large. It's a smoking casino, so be aware of that. Although there are some non-smoking sections, it's got a nice bar as well with a good selection on quick service. If smoke is a big concern, there is a completely separate non-smoking casino off of Entertainment Place. There's a good selection of table games, slot machines, lots of newer machines, and during opening hours the casino runs different tournaments and lotteries. A busy spot when it's open for sure. And it's a thoroughfare on Deck 4, so if you want to avoid passing through from the main restaurant to the theater, for example, I recommend going from Deck 5. Good luck! And we're now at the front of the ship, at the Theatre Royal on Deck 4. As well, you access the upper seating from Deck 5. There was the theater production Blue Planet, which started good but didn't really go anywhere. Also, Allure of the Seas has the Broadway production Mamma Mia running at set times, and for that you should book in advance if you're interested. We're on Deck 6 now, here at the Schooner Bar. This bar has a nautical theme throughout, and can either be a great place to sit and have a drink with a view of the Royal Promenade below, or it hosts quizzes and live piano music. You can get up close with the musician with this seating around the piano. Would be good for sing-alongs. The bar as well has its own menu with a selection of cocktails, with a few creative versions of the classics. At the back of the ship on Deck 6 is the open-air Boardwalk. There are plenty of venues out here. Here is the Boardwalk Doghouse. For a snack they do hot dogs and a few salads included in your cruise fare. Boardwalk donuts and cups and scoops with some sweet snacks, but these are extra costs, not included in your cruise fare. The carousel, a favorite for families. And then Playmakers Sports Bar with inside and outside seating, a place where you can catch live sports. No need to miss the big game while on vacation. And also Johnny Rocket's American Diner. Lunch and dinner are not included, but breakfast is. I still have yet to try that. You can see there are balcony cabins overlooking the boardwalk. Not as private as the ocean view balconies, but you get a view of everything going on here. Stepping inside Playmakers now, there is a bar and lots of screens for various live sporting events. They have a bar food menu, which we haven't tried. It's an additional charge if you are tempted by that menu. Bar snacks like nachos and chicken wings. Very casual, and good to have the inside or outside option depending on the weather. This is the bottom end of the dry slide called the Ultimate Abyss. It's one of the new additions to Allure of the Seas added as part of the 2025 refurb. It's pretty fun and quite fast. No additional charge either. And here is the Aqua Theater at the very back of the ship. In the day there are movies shown here, but at night, don't miss the Aqua Show. I really recommend this one. On Allure they're doing Aqua 82, set to the 80s biggest hits. It's energetic and the stunts are amazing. I mean, the dancers were just standing there and now the divers are diving into it. The pool itself is a carefully engineered part of the show. Just in front of the Aqua Theater is the rock climbing wall. There's no charge to try this, and you don't need to book. If you're feeling adventurous, have a go. It's 12 meters or 40 feet up to the top, but no experience required. The staff will help get you started. I mentioned Johnny Rockets already. Here's a look inside. Decorated to look like an old-fashioned American diner, it has burgers, fries, and milkshakes. Lunch and dinner have a cover charge for a set menu, or you can pay a la carte. All the way forward on Deck 6 is the Vitality Spa and Fitness Center. This is the thermal suite, which you can pay extra to use to come in and relax in the saunas, steam rooms, and relaxation area. There is no thermal pool, and what you see here is pretty much it. The fitness center, however, has everything you could want if you want to keep up your fitness routine while on vacation. Plenty of treadmills, some with sea views, lots of equipment, but also free weights and mats. There's also space for seminars here and fitness classes. Some classes are included and some have an extra charge, so just check before you book. And there's a running track on the Promenade deck on Deck 5, which there is direct access from the gym via a staircase. Now up to Deck 8 and to one of my favorite spaces on the ship, Central Park. It's an open-air space with real plants growing. Over 12,000 plants and trees according to Royal Caribbean. And lots of park benches to sit and enjoy the bird sounds. Not real birds, of course. There's several food and drink options here too, which I'll go through. First is the Park Cafe, a good alternative for lunch or breakfast or a snack. There are pre-made sandwiches or for fresh-made roast beef sandwiches, which were really nice. Also a salad bar, some breakfast and brunch options like oatmeal and yogurt. There's a coffee bar serving specialty coffees, or there's also a standard drink station. You can find something nice here and enjoy it inside or outside. Next is Chops Grill, Royal Caribbean's onboard steakhouse. Let's look inside. We did have a 3-night dining package on this cruise, and chose Chops Grill for one of them. The decor is very elegant, and you have a view of Central Park through the windows. It's a specialty restaurant, so you pay a cover charge for a set menu, but you can pay even additional to the cover charge for these signature cuts. But for the set menu, there's a good selection of starters, sides, and steaks. First, the colossal shrimp cocktail. It was really nice. Juicy shrimp and nice dips. And for something different, I wanted to try the lamb chops. It seemed I was having a lot of steak on this cruise. These were very good, so don't feel you have to go for steak just because that's the specialty. The sides were all tasty and very filling, so don't overdo it, save some room for dessert. The chocolate lava cake with ice cream, very nicely presented, and delicious too. Now we come to 150 Central Park. This was a first for us, and definitely aimed to try it after seeing it on other Oasis class, but didn't have the opportunity. The menu is said to be seasonal and locally sourced, so I'm wondering if they do in fact change the menu depending on the season and where in the world, given that all the other restaurants keep the same menu all the time. The restaurant looks upscale with this grand seating and lush decor. So our menu, sailing in Western Mediterranean in May, I don't see anything jumping out as seasonal, but prosciutto, chorizo, and truffles sure sound local. But seeing root vegetables, yuzu and mango on the menu, I'm not convinced about the seasonal and local claim. Regardless, the food we did try, some bread to start that was really flavorful and fresh baked. The braised short rib with mascarpone polenta was very rich and very nice. Also tried the honey glazed scallop starter, also very good, well cooked and tangy. For mains, the pan-seared halibut with potato salad and truffle hollandaise. I like truffle, but not sure it went with the halibut. Still well cooked. On the roasted tenderloin of beef with truffled potato. Here the pairing is excellent, so full marks for this dish. For dessert, the hazelnut passion fruit bar with mango sorbet, pretty near perfect, sweet and tart. But this peanut butter chocolate tart with blackcurrant sorbet was just okay. They didn't go well together in my opinion, and the color of the sorbet was off-putting. Also in Central Park is Giovanni's Table. This is another specialty restaurant with an additional charge. We didn't dine here this cruise, but I can show you around. A bit more of a cozy feel with the decoration. There are some interesting contraptions, a pasta maker, some antique tableware on display. And these oil and vinegar dispensers which appear to be in use. It looks nice, but we didn't choose this one for our 3-night dining package. Next door is the Giovanni's Wine Bar, however, and we did go there for some excellent gin and tonic pairings. Towards the back of the ship on Deck 8 is Dazzles. This is a 2-level entertainment venue with a nice view towards the boardwalk. You can see the stage there set up for live bands and the dance floor in front of the bands. This venue also hosted the bingo on sea days. And we even saw it hired out for private functions. There's more seating upstairs, and the bar is upstairs as well. Also, you can enter Dazzles from upstairs on Deck 9. We've made it to the upper decks now. I'm on Deck 15, where you'll find all the pools, and here is where a lot of the $100 million got spent. There are 3 good-sized pools, flanked by hot tubs. And really, the whole pool deck has been redesigned. The previous pool bars replaced with the lime and coconut, and one big obvious addition, the perfect storm, which is these 3 water slides. Check them out if you're feeling adventurous. Pool deck entertainment was daily, either a DJ or a Caribbean band. Depending if you embarked in Barcelona or Civitavecchia, the sail-away party might not be what you're used to, as everyone is not on the same itinerary. But the entertainment staff do a good job getting everyone on their feet. or nearly everyone. This is Splashaway Bay, the dedicated area for younger children and toddlers, with kid-safe water slides and lots of ways to splash around. One of the main pools is the sports pool, and there would be pool activities here like volleyball, but also entertainment like belly flop competitions. Always good for an afternoon on a sea day. Heading towards the back of the ship, you'll pass through El Loco Fresh, which is another new to Allure edition. El Loco Fresh is the Mexican-themed snack bar, open for lunch and throughout the afternoon, and it's included in your cruise fare. So there's burritos and tacos and quesadillas, also nachos with loads of toppings. There's also a separate breakfast menu. It's casual, poolside fare. You could load up a plate to take to your sunbed, which I've done a couple of times, I don't mind saying. Or there's some shaded seating here. Still on deck 15, you can see the zip line that launches from the back of the ship and travels above the boardwalk, 9 decks below. It looks thrilling for sure. I haven't tried it, but if you'd like to, it's included in your cruise fare. Next to it is Allure Dunes, the mini golf course. And also here is the sports court. A staple on Royal Caribbean is the surf simulator, the Flowrider, and Allure of the Seas has 2 of them. You can practice boogie boarding or stand-up surfing. There's no booking required for the general sessions, and it's included as well. That guy makes it look easy. Looking from the very back, you can see the Windjammer buffet, and above that are some sweet balcony staterooms. And going inside the Windjammer, this is the main buffet restaurant, open every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There was a good selection here, always fresh salads and carvery, as well burgers and fast food. There was always a curry too. In general, everything I tried here was good quality. I like a buffet for speed, either for breakfast on a port day or a quick lunch to fit around your other activities. I prefer a sit-down menu in the evening, but that's just me. This buffet, I would say, was on the small side with not many stations. There was plenty of seating though. You could always find a ready table and good views. Something else newly added to the Allure of the Seas is Samba Grill. This is located forward on deck 15. It's in the Solarium, which we'll come to later. So this venue doubles as the Solarium Bistro buffet restaurant in the day, and at night becomes the Brazilian-themed Samba Grill. If you've ever been to a Brazilian grill restaurant, the format is like that. It's centered mostly around meat, grilled on a giant skewer and then brought to your table to sample. The rest is buffet-style starters and sides, salad bar, selection of bread, and desserts. So, as I was saying, the grilled meats are brought individually to your table, and the server slices a bit to try, or as much as you like. There's different cuts of beef, like these ribs that were excellent, but also lamb and chicken, and grilled pineapple for dessert. And another new addition as part of the amplification is the Mason Jar Bar and Restaurant. Here at the back of Deck 15, there was previously a larger teen lounge. The teen lounge is still next door, but some of the space has been repurposed for this restaurant. There's a great bar that you can visit even if not dining here. There is also live bands performing. The bar menu is very whiskey and bourbon focused, as you can guess from the bottles, with lots of cocktails to try. Mason Jar is a relatively new concept for Royal Caribbean. This is only the third ship to get it after Wonder and Utopia of the Seas. The menu is Southern USA comfort food. Well, I think it looks great. Very inviting. All the way forward on Deck 15 is the Solarium. You can also access from Deck 16, where the Solarium bar is located. There's seating up here, and down on 15 is where the whirlpool and hot tubs are. This Solarium bar would also host nighttime events and sometimes be the main nightlife spot. Now, the Solarium on Allure, it's not fully enclosed. So the glass panels offer some protection from wind, but it's actually a pretty breezy spot. Note, it's an adults-only space. Still, it's a very popular space, and we weren't always able to get a bed. So now I'd like to show you our stateroom. It's Deck 12, 274, a standard ocean view balcony for 2 passengers. First impressions are, it's compact, but spacious enough, plainly decorated, and in good condition given the ship came out in 2010. There's a desk with some drawers for storage, a TV, a handy shelf over the TV, and an empty fridge. I know that stateroom upgrades were not part of the $100 million amplification, unless if you were in one of the newly added staterooms. I did read they got new LED light bulbs though. The bed, which can be divided into twin beds, pretty comfortable too. Sofa, seating area, and one wardrobe. With a safe, some shelves, but good hanging space, and lots of hangers provided. There's a form there if you want to use the laundry service. And into the bathroom, the shower has a rounded sliding door. I think that's a good design to maximize the shower size. Just one product is provided, a combination shampoo shower gel, so I like to bring my own toiletries knowing that. Some cubby holes on a decent countertop to hold everything. All in all, this was a good bathroom on a cruise ship. We never had any issues with housekeeping. The balcony, however, showed its age. The furniture was marked, and there was a pretty big leak from above, so you couldn't stand on the left, only the middle or the right side. And now I'd like to share with you some final thoughts. As soon as it was announced that the Royal Amplification program was coming to this ship and it would be launched on a European itinerary, I was more than excited to be one of the first on board to sample everything. For the food, we did enjoy main dining, but also the specialty dining. We had the 3-night dining package, but still were tempted to Chef's Table and Izumi. Maybe for the future we would consider unlimited dining package, but the main dining room in my opinion is really good as well, and I wouldn't have paid extra to miss out on it. Also, the service is worth a mention at the main dining room. The Chef's Table, although it's quite a bit extra, we didn't have the same experience as we did previously on Odyssey of the Seas. Overall, the food was good throughout the ship, both in the buffet and sit-down dining. The deluxe beverage package I think is worth getting, if not just for alcoholic beverages and cocktails. It also includes espresso coffee, fresh juice, smoothies, and bottled water. For entertainment, my review is pretty mixed. There were some really high-energy shows. I like how entertainment is spread around the ship. There was always something you could find to suit your taste or your mood. The Aqua Show and the Blades Ice Show are not to be missed. Blue Planet was a little disappointing compared to other Royal Caribbean productions we've seen. A footnote on entertainment: our sailing was over the week of the Eurovision Song Contest, and they broadcasted the 2 semifinals and the final. I'm sure that interrupted the normal weekly program, so I just wanted to mention how nice of a touch that is, and chose Royal are in touch with their passenger base, just like they would show the Super Bowl. For activities, I love the sheer variety on offer. Royal Caribbean does this well. Only it was really hard to fit everything in 7 days. In fact, we didn't get to try everything, including one of the new additions, the Royal Escape Room. For the ship spaces, all the new venues, the slides, the Pesky Parrot, the Mason Jar, Playmakers, I think the $100 million was well spent and made this ship from 2010 feel like it was brought up to date. I wish that extended to the staterooms. Our balcony specifically could use some attention. Part of the refurb also included removing some of the lounge spaces and replacing with cabins. Over 100 cabins, so around 4% more passengers. So there are now literally more passengers for less space. And it did feel at max capacity in the popular areas, the Solarium around the pools, and the Royal Promenade. Sometimes we found it challenging to get a seat or a sun lounger. This itinerary was a 7-night Italy and Spain voyage from Civitavecchia. We didn't have any excursions organized through Royal Caribbean on this cruise, opting instead to use taxis and go it alone. I do find you can save money that way, but it takes a bit of research on your part if you're not familiar with the destination. Look out for my Barcelona guide coming soon. But tell me what you think. I'd love to hear your comments, and I will respond to every comment. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, as it really helps the channel and lets me know if it was helpful. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for more cruise reviews, and see you in the next video.